Hi guys, I'm Basia Karshnia, and today with Clara and Sonia, we're going to talk about the Oscars gala. So, guys, what did you think of it?
So I heard that Conan O'Brien made a lot of amazing jokes in his opening monologue, such as referencing Timothy Chalamet's last interview, saying, "Security is extremely tight tonight. I'm told there are concerns about attacks from both opera and ballet community," and this was followed by a smile from Chalamet. He also mentioned the Las Vegas fires, saying, "Last year when I hosted, Los Angeles was on fire, but this year's everything going great."
Well,
so this was very comical moment of the evening. However, I was very interested in the red carpet looks. Did any of them catch your eye?
I mean, there were many wonderful ones. I think Chanel stole the red carpet. I think the best looks were from Chanel, and it was the leading house for sure. I mean, from Tiana Taylor in a beautiful black and white dress to Nicole Kidman and even Jessie Buckley, who wore statement colors such as, her dress was beautiful, the red and pink, and something different from her usual color palette. So, I mean, this was brilliant, and yeah.
I also really enjoyed. I don't know if you guys saw the dress that the Hamnet director wore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it was gorgeous. It was like a dark bridesmaid, a mourning bridesmaid, and how it referenced the movie perfectly.
Yeah, it was very different from Chloe Zhao's look in 2021 when she wore a simple dress from Hermès and pigtails. Yeah, it was very, very surprising and also, yeah, very gothic. Nice.
I also thought Demi Moore's look was very outstanding piece. I mean, it was very brave, definitely. What did you guys think about this?
Yeah, I loved it. It was I think made by Gucci, right? And it was clearly visible that this was exactly Gucci style. And I really liked it. And yeah, she actually did a number on it. You know, she was only a presenter. She didn't wasn't in any of the nominated movies, so it was very surprising. But I liked it also. Basha, what do you think?
I also loved it. I think it's really beautiful. It looks really nice on her, and yeah, as you said, it draws attention. And even though she wasn't nominated for any Oscars, still she was definitely seen by others.
Timothy Chalamet definitely drew a lot of attention by walking out with zero
Yeah.
awards that night, and overall, Marty Supreme, the movie, walking out with zero awards. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think Marty Supreme was snubbed for sure. I mean, winning anything, and for example, for me, which wasn't very good, Formula One won more. I mean, they also didn't win many, but they at least won something. And Timothy Chalamet's look, the all white, was very shocking choice as he played in the 50s movie Marty Supreme, and his all white was kind of supernatural, such a look. It was different, but I guess he wanted to stand out. I mean.
Yeah, but I also think that it looks really nice next to Kylie,
Mm-hmm.
who wore a black dress, and when they were posing together, it was really
It matched, yeah.
yes, it definitely matched.
I also, while we're talking about gowns, I just remembered McKenna Grace's dress.
Oh yes,
What did you guys think about it? Was it too much for her not being nominated for anything and just being as an additional actress?
I
Or
I really do believe that McKenna Grace is kind of like a Disney princess, and she just looks like one all the time. Everywhere where she appears, she's always in some beautiful dresses. And it is true that it may be too much for Oscars, but still, I think that it suits her. So
Yeah, I agree, but I also think this year's Oscars really showed like the classic side of Oscars. I think many dresses weren't, they were very in this classic Oscar style, like shiny. There weren't any actually pieces that stood out that much, and I think the men's wear was also very simple. I think most men wear like tuxedos, maybe some colors, but it was nice to see such a classic turn on the Oscars.
yeah.
So I also enjoyed that.
a lot happens during the
Yeah.
Oscars, such as Sean Penn not appearing and the presenter making a joke about it.
Yeah, that is a surprising story. I mean, he won the Best Supporting Actor as well at the BAFTAs, and he didn't show to any of them. That's a curious story, and as we know, Kieran Culkin made kind of a joke about it regarding that Sean Penn didn't want to show instead of that he couldn't show. And I don't know if you both know this, but as we know from right now to the speculations, it is known that Sean Penn is on his way, or even now already there in Ukraine, to show support to President Zelensky. And this is not the first time that Sean Penn has criticized and kind of avoided the Academy and the Oscars, right? He's criticized the Academy for having a lack of limiting expression from movies and from directors, which is not shocking now that he didn't show, right?
Yeah, I think it's really brave of him to kind of like contradict to some social norms, and I hope that people will maybe not like take some example of him, but just like see that you can be a celebrity and also make a change in not only the film world but also in the political world and that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And as you know, he's one of the most widely known actors. I mean, he won an Oscar for Mystic River, for Milk. He's a brilliant actor. And even though he's not afraid to speak up, right, for what's right, he even, I think, made a suggestion, of course, which shouldn't be taken literally, to actually give his Oscars to President Zelensky and to melt them down into bullets, which would be more useful, right, to highlight to the need to focus on this aggression done by Russia on Ukraine, which is really, I mean, it's very different from seeing since many actors choose to not be really politically informed. I mean, not informed, but, widely share their opinion, which is really nice for an actor to actually embrace this.
Speaking of awards acceptations, this night something really strange happened. So the Oscars are very famous for cutting off speeches. And tonight it happened for, people say, historic win, but honestly I hate that movie so much. K-pop Demon Hunters creators were rudely cut off during their speech. What do you guys think about that? They reportedly finished the speech backstage after being cut off by the Academy.
I mean, I'm not sure how long was their speech before they were cut off. I mean, I'm not sure, but I don't think even in regards to what we think of the movie, I think it's not very nice to cut off the, the people presenting. Although there's also, limited time. I think everyone was sitting there for a few hours now, so this also should be respected. I know it's a different situation, difficult situation. I think they should take it maybe more as a joke, and just brush off the situation instead of, yeah.
So some of the acceptance speeches were also historic, such as Michael B. Jordan winning the Oscar, deserved, in my opinion. In his speech, he mentioned the people who came before him, such as Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith. And he mentions that to be among these giants, among those greats, among my ancestors, among my guys, is an incredible privilege.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing that he mentioned this, as we also know that Oscars have previously been called as being kind of, this is a bit not nice, but they have been called as Oscars so white, meaning that many white people were winning the Oscars always, and black people were often marginalized, which is really nice that he actually acknowledges all his, past, maybe not ancestors, but the people that made it happen for him, which is very heartwarming.
Yeah, I think that also actors often kind of learn from each other, and the fact that someone wins an Oscar doesn't mean that he or she is the best, but that he is or she is also appreciated in this world. And this still means that other people who won these Oscars before are still should still be acknowledged, and as you said, just kind of
remembered. And
yeah, exactly, remembered.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, and we all saw the famous photo shoot in and Out after his win. Did you see it, guys?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he made a funny photo shoot in and Out. He went to buy something, I think fries and burgers, and the crowds were all over him, while he was taking photos in and Outs with his Oscar. It was really funny. Yeah. Yeah, and also I think we can talk about Paul Thomas Anderson's speech, right, at the acceptance speech for winning Best Director and Best Picture. He was really heartwarmed and really appreciated all his other co-stars and co-nominees, since he acknowledged that this situation is similar to the 1975 situation, where they were all wonderful movies, classics such as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and that this situation is repeating, that all of them are equal and equally good movies. I think that was brilliant.
I fully agree with you. And also on the topic of Sinners, did you guys see the performance of I Lied to You during
Yeah.
the Oscars?
Yes.
I
it was
mean, that was
outstanding.
wonderful. That was wonderful. I also loved because the cameraman was very messy at that moment. As did you guys see that the center of the stage at the ending of the song was taken by a ballerina, and the camera switched to Timothy Chalamet?
I don't think that was a mistake, was it?
And he was
Well,
actually enjoying the moment, so maybe he has a different opinion now.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, that's curious, but I think like a lot of this stuff with Timothée Chalamet, a lot of it is taken out of context. I'm not. I mean, it's not fully out of context. He did say something like that, but it was kind of twisted. The part was twisted,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
more. I don't think his full performance and chances of winning an Oscar should be based on what he said. I mean, we should
Exactly.
objectively like decide on his acting, right? I mean, of course, if this was a full blown scandal, it would be different, but he was truly just saying his opinion. I also don't agree with it. I think it was very like heartbreaking, but I mean, you can't judge him for that, for his acting, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true.
And as we know, probably the most obvious and most predicted win was that Jessie Buckley would win the Best Actress award for Hamnet. I mean, this was, I think, like 90%, 98% sure that she would win, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that everyone who saw Hamnet movie definitely appreciates how an amazing role she played there, and how extraordinarily she just showed this mother's emotions and the pain when you're losing a child. And I'm really happy that it was appreciated, and that she won an Oscar, because it was definitely deserved. And the fact that in her speech she also said that this award is for all the other women and all the other mothers, it was really nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I think that was also the day where there was Mother's Day in the UK,
Yes,
which
yes,
was very
yes.
on theme. And I think she herself has an 8-month-old daughter, right? So this is already very difficult for her to balance working and having a daughter this young. So I think she's brilliant.
Okay, so guys, did you see that One Battle After Another won 6 out of, I think, 13 nominations that they received?
Yeah, I know. To me, I mean, for them, it's a great success, honestly. Also, looking at how majorly the movie criticized Trump's administration, I mean, that was a big move from the Academy. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Sean Penn's role as Stephen J. Lockjaw was basically an embodiment of Trump, Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk, all of them together. And I think it was a very strong political message that didn't even try to be hidden in the film. It was great. And yeah, I think Oscars are a big part of determining, the political state of the world right now and what the viewers want to see and actually feel, which is great. I mean, there were a lot of hidden messages in the film to the current situation.
I think it is really nice that film directors and actors are not afraid to show how they feel about political world, and also what's their perspective. And the fact that One Battle After Another may be a controversial movie, still it shows that people support it, and it's received 13 nominations and 6 awards. So yeah, that's definitely a sign that people should be able to express their feelings mm, and what they want to change in the political world.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, One Battle After Another's main theme was, future generations having to fight previous battles, and each time everything going at once, each battle after another, as the title suggests. And I think this also really translates into our current situation, where not only Trump's chaos of his policies, but also all around the world. Future generations will have to still fight these consequences and kind of deal with what is happening right now, which shows how our current generation influences many future generations to come, which is, I think, really great that the Best Picture movie awarded this year could actually show this and embody this idea, I think.
I also think that, those Oscars were definitely very political, as Sinners also grabbed a few of its nominations. I think it was actually very little. I think it was 4 wins out of 16 nominations.
Yes.
For which I was very surprised, I have to say. But that movie was also very political, as, well, I interpreted it as the white culture genuine, like, literally sucking the black culture out of those people, literally sucking it out, like vampires do. So I found that to be so actually political and so pointed towards those people who are not accepting the black culture fully in the United States, but are still living by its rules somehow. And them winning, for example, Best Original Screenplay, that was definitely some kind of a political message.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. I mean, I am surprised that out of 60 nominations, it won only 4. But I think that One Battle After Another was a bit more of a hit, as it really relates to the current situation. I mean, Sinners will be timeless. It will be a classic, but there are a lot of movies that relate to this idea and actually show it, which is why I think One Battle After Another just showed such an individual situation, in a world right now full of very left liberals and very right wingers. It's a perfect depiction of this, which is why I think it actually stole the show. But yeah, Sinners was definitely a kind of a weird phenomenon that it had 16 nominations in all of the Oscars. That's the most amount, and still won only 4. That's a bit crazy, but
they still made history.
Yeah, that's true, of course. Yeah, and even though it's considered a horror, it managed to be nominated for Best Picture and actually be the, runner-up. It was very surprising and great.
I think that those Oscars were actually a big ceremony and a big, appreciation of overall the horror genre. I mean, I feel like in the award ceremonies, the horror genre is not really addressed fully. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there aren't many nominations, there aren't many wins for horrors. They're not considered as, serious movies sometimes, I fear. And here we have Amy Madigan winning for Weapons, Sinners making history with their nominations, Sinners winning Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, I believe.
Yes.
I mean, to me, that was amazing. As a horror fan, to me, that was, wow, those movies are actually starting to be appreciated,
I also think that Sinners is not a typical horror movie because it doesn't aim just to scare people. It is more likely to show the dark characteristics of our society, kind of, and how these characteristics these features may be scaring to our next generations, to today's generations, and just to the well-being of of the whole world. So it is a horror, but I also would say that it's not a typical one because it doesn't focus on just some jump scares and that stuff. It also has a plot, definitely important one. So that's why it's I think that's why it received 4 Oscars.
Yeah, I agree. And horrors, I mean, I'm not a big fan of horrors myself, but I do appreciate that this category is being more appreciated since it's also very valid. But I do agree that Sinners are kind of maybe a bit of an exception because I wouldn't say that, as Basha said, it is a scary movie, but not in the sense that jump scares and, it's trying to threaten you in the moment, but actually kind of make you think and think about your future more and the current situation also, which is why I think it's great that it's been nominated this many times.
I also another gothic drama was also nominated, Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys watched it.
Of course, yes.
And I am so happy with them winning best costumes. I think it was totally deserved, as Mia Goth's dresses stole the show for me. Really.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also the whole Jacob Elordi, costume and the creatures, kind of like,
Yeah.
like a sculpted body.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Mia Goth's, costumes both in the film and on the red carpet were beautiful. I don't know if you saw her dress on the red carpet, but it was such a beautiful white dress, like off-white. It was great. Yeah, they did a number on her, really.
One beautiful dress that she wore in the movie that I found so extraordinary was the blue dress. Do you guys remember it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She wore like this big blue dress and those feathers on as a part of her hairstyle. It was gorgeous. I mean, I couldn't stop staring at it. I was like, wow, that's perfect. Like, everything about this dress is perfect. So I'm so happy that they actually won best costumes. As honestly, the other movies that were in this category, I don't see how they got nominated for best costumes. Because, for example, Marty Supreme, they were just historically accurate. That's it.
Yeah. The same with Sinners, also
Yeah.
just historically accurate.
Yeah, I agree. And now talking about Marty Supreme, it was really a big snub, for it, since Timothée Chalamet practiced for, I think, over 8 years for this role, learning how to play ping pong. And the fact how much marketing and how much they put into Marty Supreme, all the jackets, the ads, everything, it was everywhere. And they won 0 Oscars. I think that's kind of really crazy. I'm really torn between the fact whether it was just, the circumstances and the fact that we just missed a little bit in each category, or whether it was really due to the, Timothée Chalamet's comments about ballet and opera. I'm not sure, frankly.
I think that what Timothy said was definitely disrespectful, but as you've already said, it shouldn't be that influencing in the decisions about Oscars. And I think it wasn't that influencing. But also, it's such a shame that Marty Supreme didn't win any of the Oscars, because I believe that Timothy is such a good actor, and not only in Marty Supreme, but also in all of his previous works and movies, and he definitely should be appreciated for that. So I was kind of hoping that he would get an Oscar, but well, he didn't, and that's such a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they had this great competition in those nominations. So in best costumes, they didn't stand a chance to Frankenstein, in my opinion.
That's true.
In best actor, I think it was deserved for Michael B. Jordan, and I'm very happy that he got this Oscar. In cinematography, I think Sinners won, if I remember correctly. They also didn't stand a chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
In best original screenplay, of course Sinners would win. I mean, their story. I feel like in the best original screenplay, Sinners should have won because their story actually had a meaning, And in Marty Supreme, I don't think this movie had a meaning. It was like, chase your dreams, and then there's a guy running around begging for money.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's true.
For like 90% of the movie. Like, come on. What's the meaning behind it? Come on. There's no plot. Give me the plot. I also really expected for the movie to have a lot of the ping pong games involved. But I don't know if you guys also realized it was like 20 minutes of the movie in total of him actually playing ping pong.
Yeah, that might be so, but I think also, like many viewers, I mean, ping pong is a very underappreciated sport, I would say.
True.
And, putting like 30-minute or 40-minute, actions of playing ping pong, I think it would bore so many people. Like, it's kind of sad, but it's true. And I also, I like the interpretation. It was for me also kind of like monotone and kind of the same tune and feeling the whole movie, but it was nice to actually see an interpretation that it wasn't actually a movie only about chasing your dreams, but actually a movie about a very narcissistic and very single single-minded person who actually pushed away everything from his life and everyone just to achieve what he wanted. And in the end, he didn't actually manage to do it really, right? He like kind of gave up the tournament, and only when he returned to his child did he actually feel happy, which is kind of a sad story, you know, for chasing something that long and pushing everyone away just to lose everything. And you know, it's a sad story. So I think it had some meaning, but you're right. Like I think it just lost something in every category. There was always something that a bit better, and that's why, you know, it didn't manage to do it.
Yeah.
Also, when Oscars nominations were announced, I just want to hear your guys' opinion about this. In Best Costume, Avatar was nominated. When I was looking at the nominations, I wondered for what? Because all of the costumes are like,
Visual effects.
yeah, exactly.
But still, you know, they have to be designed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's still difficult, and it's still, you know, the same thing as a person picking out the clothes, but now the person has like full freedom to actually design the clothes. So I think it also had a part. I mean, it's CGI, but it's still also very difficult. So you know, Avatar has a place in my heart. So I must say that I was, you know, proud that this won something. But yeah.
Yeah, it won Best Visual Effect. and
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course,
you can't
of course.
argue with
Definitely
that.
You can.
deserved.
Yeah, of course. But you know, I also reminded me, you know, of some of the Oscar scandals from, you know, maybe not the past few years, but something that was also newly introduced this year. The fact that not all Academy members watched all the nominated films before voting. Did you know this,
Really?
guys? Yeah. This year they enforced on the 98th Academy Awards, they enforced a rule where all people who vote, Academy members, have to watch the movies, all of the nominated movies that they want to vote in a special, I think, application or a special digital platform where they can like log it into the Academy Awards system that they actually have watched the movie. Because there have been many instances where Academy members just didn't watch all the movies that were nominated in what they were voting for, and that's
That-
crazy for me.
That should not be
Yeah.
acceptable.
Yeah, that they introduced it that late. That's why there's so many always, you know, weird situations with the Academy and, you know, hate on it because it's not that reliable.
I didn't know that. It's
Yeah.
like,
I
what you
think
vote
it's
for a movie?
crazy that
Yeah.
someone votes for a movie without seeing all the others.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there were all even interviews with some Academy members, like quite less known ones, where they said that they watched only 3 movies out of it and then just picked the one that they liked most because,
What
you know,
do you mean?
yeah, yeah, it's crazy because, you know, all of the nominations are like 52 movies and I don't think everyone just wants to watch all of them. It's shocking, really.
Yeah, but like imagine that there's an actor who like poured his heart into a
Yeah.
movie and actually did such an amazing job. However, the movie is less known.
Exactly.
Half of the Academy members don't watch it, so they
Mhm.
don't vote for it. I mean,
Yeah, so it's good that they changed this year because, you know, now you can say that Sean Penn's hate and other actors' hate on the Academy isn't fully, you know, unjustified. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
so this was the Film and Book Club's review of the Oscars Gala. I'm Klara Hamudech, the Film and Book Club editor. With me was Sonia Rybus, who is a writer for Film and Book Club, and Barbara Kasznia, who's also a writer for Film and Book Club. Thank you so much for listening to us. Hit the subscribe button down below and don't forget to follow us on Instagram.